lovely students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Ghalib's English School. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Car Theory Test, Chapter 9, Motorway Rules. I'll cover the whole chapter from this DVSA official guide and make it simple for you. So before I start, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon down below for all the updates. Question 1. Where should you stop to rest if you feel tired while you are traveling along a motorway? On the hard shoulder, at the nearest service area, on a slip road, on a center reservation. Correct option is at the nearest service area. Question 2. What color are the reflective studs between the lanes on a motorway? Green, amber, white, red. Between the lanes, there are white reflective studs. What color are the reflective studs between a motorway and a slip road? Amber, white, green, red. So between a motorway and its slip road entrance and exit, we have green color reflective studs. You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? On a steep gradient, before a service area, before a junction, along a hard shoulder. So from the picture, you can easily tell that it is on a steep gradient, and that is for heavy and loaded lorries. Question 5. What color are the reflective studs between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane of a motorway? Green, red, white, amber. So there are red color reflective studs between the left-hand lane and the hard shoulder. You are on a 3-lane motorway. Which lane are you in if there are red reflective studs on your left and white ones to your right? So guys, just picture it in your mind that on your right there are white reflective studs and on your left there are red. So which lane are you in? Are you in the right-hand lane, in the middle lane, on the hard shoulder, or in the left-hand lane? So if you have white reflective studs on your right and red reflective stud on your left, you are in the left-hand lane. What should you do while you are driving or riding along a motorway? Maintain a shorter separation distance than you would on the other roads. Concentrate more than you would on other roads. Look much further ahead than you would on other roads. Travel much faster than you would on other roads. The correct option is you should look much further ahead than you would on other roads. You are on a motorway. What must you do if there is a red cross showing above every lane? Pull onto the hard shoulder, slow down and watch for further signals, leave at the next exit, stop and wait. So if there is a red cross above every lane, then you must stop and wait. Why is it important to make full use of the slip road as you join a motorway? To allow you fit safely into the traffic flow in the left-hand lane, because you can continue on the hard shoulder, because there is space available to turn around if you need to allow you direct access to the overtaking lanes. The correct option is it allows you to fit safely into the traffic flow in the left-hand lane. You are joining a motorway from a slip road. How should you deal with traffic already on the motorway? Use the slip road to accelerate until you are moving much faster than the motorway traffic. Match your speed to traffic in the left-hand lane and filter into a safe gap. Carry on along the hard shoulder until you see a safe gap. Stop at the end of the slip road and look for a safe gap. So the correct option is match your speed to traffic in the left-hand lane and filter into the safe gap. What's the national speed limit for a car or motorcycle on motorway? So the national speed limit for cars and motorcycles on a motorway is 70 miles. What should you do when you're going through a contraflow system on motorway? So guys, in the picture you can see this is contraflow system. You should switch lane to keep the traffic flowing, stay close to the vehicle ahead to reduce queues, use dipped headlights, keep a good distance from the vehicle ahead. So the best practice is when you are going through the contraflow system, you should keep a safe gap from the vehicle ahead. What helps to reduce traffic bunching on a motorway? So, what does traffic bunching mean? Traffic bunching means when you have lots of cars or vehicles going together on the 3 lanes. And that is risky. So how can we avoid that? We need to apply national speed limits, lane closures, variable speed limits, contraflow system. So from control room through CCTV, they use variable speed limits to control the traffic bunching on motorways. Which vehicle should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? Emergency vehicles only, slow vehicles only, any vehicle that isn't overtaking, or large vehicles only. So guys, remember, if you aren't overtaking, you should stick to the left-hand lane. So any vehicle that isn't overtaking, they should stay in the left-hand lane. When would you use the right-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? So when can we use the right-hand lane? When you are turning right, when you are overtaking, when you are traveling above the speed limit, when you are trying to save fuel. The correct option is when you try to overtake on a motorway, you should use the right-hand lane. You are in the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. What do these overhead signs mean? So if you look at the overhead signs, in the middle lane, there is a mandatory speed limit. Same is the case with the left-hand lane. But the right-hand lane, something is different. So this sign is directing you to do something. So let's find out the correct option. Use the hard shoulder until you have passed the hazard. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Move to the left and reduce your speed to 50 miles per hour. Or there are roadworks 50 meters or 55 yards ahead. The correct option is you are traveling in the right-hand lane, so you should move to the left and reduce your speed to 50 miles per hour. That's what this sign means. Which vehicles are not allowed to use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway? Small delivery vans, motorcycles, vehicles towing a trailer, motorcycle, and sidecar outfits. Correct option is vehicles towing a trailer or a caravan, they are not allowed to use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. Question 18. When are you allowed to stop on a motorway? When you are signaled to do so by traffic signals, when you need to use a mobile phone, when you need to walk and get fresh air, when you wish to pick up hitchhikers. Correct option is when you are signaled to do so by traffic signals, then you can stop on a motorway. Apart from that, you are not allowed unless you have an emergency. Your vehicle has broken down on a motorway. In which direction should you walk to find the nearest emergency telephone? With the traffic flow facing oncoming traffic, in the direction shown on the marker post, in the direction of the nearest exit. The correct option is in the direction shown on the marker post. You should follow that. What do these motorway signs mean? They are countdown markers to a bridge. They are distance markers to next telephone. They are countdown markers to next exit. they warn of a police control ahead. The correct option is they are countdown markers to the next exit. You are on a motorway that isn't subject to smart motorway regulations. When should you use the hard shoulder? When you are stopping for a rest? When you are joining the motorway? When you are stopping in an emergency? When you are leaving the motorway? The correct option is when you are stopping in an emergency. Your vehicle broke down on a hard shoulder of a motorway but has now been repaired. How should you rejoin the main carriageway? Wait on the hard shoulder until someone flashes their headlights at you. Move out onto the carriageway, then build up your speed. Move out onto the carriageway using your hazard warning lights. Gain speed on the hard shoulder before moving out onto the carriageway. So the correct option is gain speed on the hard shoulder before moving out onto the main carriageway. Your vehicle breaks down on a motorway and you need to call for help. When might it be better to use an emergency roadside telephone rather than a mobile phone? So in simple words, the question is asking you that when can we use roadside telephone instead of mobile phone? It connects you to local garage. Using a mobile phone will distract other drivers. It allows easy location by the emergency services. Mobile phones don't work on motorways. Correct option is if you use the roadside telephone, the emergency services, they can spot you easily. You are on a smart motorway. What does it mean when a red cross is displayed above the hard shoulder? So you can see in the picture, if this cross is shown above the hard shoulder, what does it mean? This lane can be used if you need a rest. You shouldn't travel in this lane. Pull up in this lane to answer your mobile phone. Use this lane as a running lane. The correct option is you shouldn't travel in this lane. Why can it be an advantage for traffic speed to stay constant over a longer distance? You will be able to use more direct routes. Your overall journey time will normally improve. You will do more stops start driving. You will use far more fuel. So the correct option is your overall journey time will normally improve if you constantly driving at the same speed over the longer distance. When may you stop on a motorway? If your mobile phone rings, in an emergency or breakdown, if you have to read a map, when you are tired and need a rest. So the guy's correct option is that you can stop on a motorway only if you have an emergency or breakdown. You are traveling in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. How should you react to traffic joining from a slip road? Increase your speed to ensure they join behind you. Adjust your speed or change lane if you can do so safely. Maintain a steady speed. Switch on your hazard warning lights. So if you're already traveling in the left-hand lane and there are people they are joining from slip road, you should adjust your speed or change lane if you can do so safely. Remember that. That should be your priority. You are on a smart motorway. What does it mean if a red cross is showing above the hard shoulder and a mandatory speed limit above all other lanes? You can see in the picture, the hard shoulder can be used as a normal running lane. The hard shoulder has a speed limit of 50 miles per hour. The hard shoulder can be used as a rest area if you feel tired. The hard shoulder is for emergency or breakdown use only. You can clearly see that 3 lanes you should use with a reduced speed of 50 miles, but the hard shoulder is only for emergency and breakdown. You shouldn't use that. How do smart motorways prevent traffic bunching? So this question is again about traffic bunching, that how can we prevent that? By using minimum speed limits, by using variable speed limits, by using higher speed limits, by using advisory speed limit. So the correct option is to control traffic bunching, or to prevent that, we use variable speed limits. How should you position yourself when you use the emergency telephone on a motorway? Keep your back to the traffic, stand on the hard shoulder, stay close to the carriageway, face the oncoming traffic. So if you're facing this situation, you should face the oncoming traffic for your safety. When would you use an emergency refuge area on a smart motorway? So when we say emergency refuge area, it means hard shoulder. But emergency refuge area is only on smart motorways where we have 4 lanes, and the 4th lane is used as emergency refuge area in cases of emergency. So when would you use that? To stop and check where you are? No. To make a private phone call? No. In case of emergency or breakdown? Yes. If you think you will be involved in a road rage incident? No. So the correct option is emergency refuge area you can use in cases of emergency or breakdown. On a smart motorway, what does this sign mean? So if you look at this sign, hard shoulder, including the 3 lanes, has mandatory speed limit. So from there, you can tell that you can use the hard shoulder. But let's go to the options first. Option number 1 is use the 3 right-hand lanes only. Use all the lanes, including the hard shoulder. Use any lane except the hard shoulder. Use the hard shoulder only. So the correct option is use all the lanes, including the hard shoulder. What's the aim of smart motorway? To prevent tailgating, to reduce congestion, to prevent overtaking, to reduce rest stops. So the aim of the smart motorway is to reduce congestion. You're driving on a motorway and have to slow down suddenly due to a hazard ahead. How can you warn drivers behind of a hazard? Sound your horn, flash your headlights, switch on your hazard warning lights, switch on your headlights. So you need to understand the question that while driving on motorway, if you have to slow down suddenly due to some hazard, then you need to switch on your hazard warning lights. This is your communication with the drivers following you, and they would slow down as well. What's the speed limit for a car towing a trailer on a motorway? 40 miles, 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, or 70 miles per hour. So on a motorway, if a car or a vehicle towing a trailer, they should do 60 miles per hour, 10 miles less than the normal driving. Traffic officers operate on motorways and some primary routes in England and Wales. What are they authorized to do? So you can see in the picture there is a traffic officer standing next to their vehicle. What authority they have? They can issue fixed penalty notices. They can stop and direct anyone on a motorway. They can stop and arrest drivers who break the law. They repair broken down vehicles on a motorway. So the correct option is they can stop and direct anyone on a motorway. What restrictions apply to people who have a provisional driving license? So guys, you are aware of that. The provisional driving license is learner license, green license. If you have that, what restrictions apply to you? They cannot drive over 30 miles per hour. They cannot drive at night. They cannot drive unaccompanied. They cannot drive with more than one passenger. Correct option is they cannot drive unaccompanied. So they should have someone who should be qualified in the same category for at least 3 years, and the age should be 21 years. What should you do if you are driving on a motorway and you miss the exit that you wanted to take? So you forgot your exit, accidentally you missed that. What should you do? Carefully reverse in the left-hand lane? No. Make a U-turn at the next gap in the center reservation? No. Carefully reverse along the hard shoulder? No. Carry on to the next exit. So for your safety, you should continue. Carry on to the next exit. Take a turn from there. You are towing a trailer along a 3-lane motorway. When may you use the right-hand lane? When you can maintain high speed, when large vehicles are in the left and center lanes, when there are lane closures, when there is a slow-moving traffic. So, if you are towing a trailer on a 3-lane motorway, when are you allowed in the right lane? You are allowed when there is a lane closure. You're on a smart motorway. What does it mean when a mandatory speed limit is displayed above the hard shoulder? If you look at the picture, the sign shows you 50 miles per hour mandatory speed. What should you do? You can park on the hard shoulder if you feel tired. You can pull up in this lane to answer a mobile phone. You shouldn't travel in this lane. The hard shoulder can be used as a running lane. So if you use the hard shoulder, you can use it as a running lane, but you have to reduce your speed to 50 miles per hour. You're driving on a motorway. Which lane should you get into well before you reach your exit? So the question is asking you, when you reach near your exit, which lane should you use? The hard shoulder, the right-hand lane, the middle lane, the left-hand lane. The correct option is the left-hand lane. Your car gets a puncture while you are driving on a motorway. What should you do when you have stopped on the hard shoulder? Try to wave down another vehicle for help. Only change the wheel if you have a passenger to help you. Carefully change the wheel yourself. Use an emergency telephone and call for help. So guys, if you are on a hard shoulder, your tire burst or you have a puncture, you should use emergency telephone and call for assistance. Question 43. Your vehicle has broken down on a motorway. What should you do if you aren't able to get onto the hard shoulder? Attempt to repair your vehicle quickly. Stand behind your vehicle to warn others. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Stop the traffic behind and ask for help. So the best practice is you should switch on your hazard warning lights. When may you stop on a hard shoulder of a motorway? If you miss the exit that you wanted, to pick up a hitchhiker, in an emergency, if you feel tired and need to rest. So guys, on hard shoulder, we can only stop in an emergency. So this car is on the hard shoulder. You can see that. Question 45. Your vehicle breaks down on a motorway and you manage to stop on the hard shoulder. What should you do if you use your mobile phone to call for help? So instead of roadside phone, you use your mobile phone. What should you do? Wait in the car for emergency services to arrive. Check your location from the nearest marker post.
beside the hard shoulder, stand at the rear of a vehicle while making the call, phone a friend and ask them to come and collect you. Best practice is you should check your location because you are not using roadside phone, you are using your mobile phone, so you should check your location so that emergency services can easily chase you up or spot you. What would you expect to find at a contraflow system on a motorway? Wider lanes than normal, road humps, lower speed limits, temporary traffic lights. So on a contraflow, we usually have lower speed limits. Why is it particularly important to check your vehicle before making a long motorway journey? So before a long motorway journey, why should you check your car? The road surface will wear down the tires faster. Continuous high speed increases the risk of your vehicle breaking down. You will have to do more harsh braking on motorways. Motorway service areas don't deal with breakdowns. The correct option is that continuous high speed can increase the risk of your vehicle breaking down. That's why we check engine oil and coolant and all that stuff. We are supposed to do that.
So guys, this was all about chapter 9, Motorway Rules. If you have any question, please drop them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. If you like this video, give me thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Look after yourself and this channel. Thanks for watching.